Well, g'day flatties and globe defenders, it's Critical Think from Down Under. Thank you, that's very kind. Yes, we're going to Antarctica. So there's this cool dude, Will Duffy, who come up with this final experiment, which is supposed to be the final answer on the shape of the Earth. I mean, we already know what the final answer is, but I think this is to entice the flat earthers to come and do a real test. Like they say, you can't go to Antarctica and there's an ice wall. So if you go to Antarctica and there is a 24-hour sun, then that more or less is the end of it for flat Earth. Or is it? So yes, we want to be a part of this, but there's a slight problem. Yes, it's a huge amount of money to go to Antarctica, which is why I've started this fundraiser. So with a little bit of help from my friends, we are going to Antarctica. So the goal is 60,000 Aussie dollars. Yes, that sounds a lot, but that's only 40,000 US dollars. And that doesn't even quite cover the cost of the airfares and such. But just remember, 100 US dollars is 150 Aussie dollars. So while it might sound a lot in Aussie dollars, if you donate in US dollars, it doesn't sound so much, does it? So I'll be able to chip in a little bit of money on my own, but you know, in this video I'll go into a little bit about who am I, my YouTube summary, and the proposed experiments, and a little bit of information about why I should go to Antarctica. So I'm a retired electrical engineer. I have a Bachelor of Engineering, with electrical engineering that is, with the honours first class. One of the top students in the university, and I've got a master's degree, Master of Engineering Science. Now, I've worked in various fields. These are only a couple of things that I've worked on over the years. It started out in telephone traffic forecasting for the whole of Australia, and some very large database administration for our major telco, and a very exciting project, weapons upgrade for the F-111. We integrated a new weapon onto a fighter bomber aircraft. Very exciting stuff. And I've worked on the Defence High Frequency Communications Network and some Defence Battlefield Communications. So that's a few things I've done in my career. Now, I did fly over Antarctica in 2019. Greater Sapien and I got together and we took this flight over the Antarctic continent, the place that we're not supposed to be able to go to according to flat earthers, but we flew below 60 degrees south. And here's someone on the inside of the aircraft tracking industry managed to get this track that our aeroplane took when it flew over Antarctica. So we did a few loops and things, a sightseeing tour it was. And I've got a couple of photos there I took. Here's one of the bases on the Antarctic continent. And then this is the ice wall that the flatties say that you can't go past, but there's a view past the ice wall there, and we flew over that area. I also do a bit of photography, especially in relation to how we know that the Earth is a globe. And this picture is sunset in Phuket, a little bit of a hazy atmosphere, but it allows you to take a picture of the sun without all that glare, a natural solar filter. And here again, very rare event in Brisbane in Australia, the sunrise on a very dusty day. A dust storm went over Brisbane. You hardly ever see this. But there's the sunrise. That would be partially below eye level, just by the way. And here's another photograph I've taken through a dumpy level or auto level. The sun below eye level, which of course is evidence for the globe and absolutely impossible on a flat Earth. So these are some of the things that I've featured on my channel, along with some observations of horizon drop, the famous red tube experiment proposed by a flat earther that actually proves the globe. And I've also calculated the height of the ISS from this picture taken from the ISS. Now, NASA very kindly provide all the relevant metadata which allows you to make these calculations. And I've done the experiment with the sugar water in the fish tank, and look at that, 3 hops on the density gradient there, the light bending in a density gradient. Another thing that people have said is impossible light's supposed to travel in a straight line, but obviously it doesn't in a density gradient. Another little thing I did was to take solar radiation measurements and work out whether the sun is local or not. And that's one of the videos I've produced in the past. I've also given you a message from the president of Flatardia very early on in my career. I think it would be nice one day to interview the president again. We'll see if we get to that. And I've got here an ISS transit. This is with an infrared filter. Now I'm going to play this one. If you follow the line there, you should see it. It's a little bit tricky. This one's slow-mo, so you can see that one easy. Then there's another solar transit. Oh, did you catch that? Very difficult to spot that one. And a lunar transit. Oh, very difficult to see, but there you go. This is the kind of stuff I get out and about and do experiments, measurements, travel around a lot. And I also do a bit of modelling. Here's my flat Earth model done in Blender. And I do a little bit of photography of ships over the curve. And what I've done a hell of a lot of work with is the weight measurements versus latitude. And this is why the trip to Antarctica is a great thing for this experiment. Now, I've travelled to many places around Australia and Thailand, Singapore, and taken a lot of measurements with a scale that demonstrates the Earth is a rotating oblate spheroid. And I've taken all these measurements and put them here on this graph. Now, if we include the latitudes up to 90 degrees, you can see there's a big gap in the graph there. And I'd like to fill some of those holes in that gap. So going to Antarctica will allow us to take a couple of measurements there. This one here, would be at Punta Arenas, and this one at Union Glacier on the Antarctic continent. And you can see it'd be very nice to get those numbers to fill in that graph. Also, while we're getting from Australia to Chile and then to Antarctica, we have to fly across the southern Pacific Ocean. And according to the Flat Earth map, that's not the way they fly, but we'll be able to show that this is the way we fly and where we fly, like south of New Zealand. Now, this is one of the options I have. Otherwise, I can fly from Brisbane to Auckland to Santiago. I haven't yet quite worked out which one, but I'd prefer the Sydney to Santiago flight like that one. And this is a little bit rotated a bit. This flight is the same flight. I've just rotated the globe a bit. So flat earthers get a little bit confused with this. They think that's a curve, but it's the same picture. It's actually the shortest path on the globe, even though it looks curved. So that's it. That's the launch of my fundraiser for the trip to Antarctica. I have to say thank you very much, and I am very grateful for your donations. This is going to be great.